Very few anime affects me like Hajime no Ippo does. Sure, I can be mesmerized by something, taking hours off my life to binge read or watch a series, and then move on to the next thing after. But this series isn't like that. Hajime no Ippo affected me more on an emotional and physical level, sticking to my life even after catching up to the manga. Yes, I read all almost 1,500 chapters. I still keep up with it every week, waiting for a new chapter. It's one of the few manga series I've read that actually makes me want to move my body and go touch some grass. But what is Hajime no Ippo even about? If you don't know and just have a general gist of it, you might think that Hajime no Ippo is just a boxing manga that has been running longer than One Piece. Although that is an accurate gist of it, be it shallow, it doesn't really do it justice. Hajime no Ippo follows the story of a boy named Makonuchi Ippo and his personal growth and journey as a boxer. The manga mentions real-life boxers and techniques, fitting as the mangaka, George Morikawa, owns his own boxing gym and occasionally acts as a second for his boxers. The manga has a simple but relatable plot. It has a surmountable amount of characters and the humor is so dang funny. But the actual meat and potatoes of the series is the action. Up to this point, Ippos has won 10 matches with 10 KOs all in each. But these matches weren't won easily. We as the viewer have seen Ippos go through these life and death battles and emerge victorious with a bruised body and a smile, adding each match to his battle experience. Through hard work and determination, he trained and trained for his matches, learning techniques and what strategies he could use to beat his foes. And now he's faced with his most dangerous opponent so far, the current champion of Japan, Date Eiji. Date Eiji, although pushing 30, is still as strong as his peak, if not even stronger as the characters have even mentioned, not to mention his weapon, the corkscrew. If the timing is correct, Date could stop someone's time. He stops them by punching their heart in a spiral force that temporarily stops it from beating, where Date would then pummel the poor soul to oblivion.
His left follow-up is coming. I gotta raise my guard. Come on, get your hands up. They feel like they weigh a ton.
The battle between these two monsters was a teeth-gritting close one where they both put their dreams on the line, pushing each other to the absolute limit. Ippo left his guard too open and Date took this chance to blow off his punch. Just as he was about to pummel Ippo, the ref stops him as the towel was thrown and Ippo collapses to the mat. This was a historic moment for the manga, as tons of fans were disappointed that Ippo lost. Guys, losing sucks. We all know this, but you gotta lose at some point in life. No human can have a 100% win streak, and Ippo's no different. Ippo tries to go on with his day after the fight, even going on a date with Kumi. But at the end of the day, after Kumi left, Ippo looked down in disappointment, thinking to himself, I wanted to win. The shock and emotions of Ippo losing hit me like a damn truck. I started looking for confirmation through Reddit, searching for people who were as disappointed as me that Ippo lost. But we weren't as disappointed as Ippo himself. Ippo gets his hands on the recording of his fight. He rewatches it over and over, criticizing himself and tries to figure out what he could have done differently to change the outcome of the match. Losing feels bad. We all know this. It's a crappy feeling you feel inside you wish you could change. The bitter taste of defeat and knowing you can't blame anyone but yourself. If only I did this. If only I tried harder. Maybe I could have won. But this is really emphasized when Ippo rewatches the fight and feels regret, thinking what he could have done differently, scratching the floor in anger. It's easy to give up. Whenever I lose, my motivation goes away and it seems so easy to give up. What's gonna make the next time any different than the last? Does Ippos have the mental resilience to bounce back after losing? Obviously, since the series is still ongoing, it's safe to assume he did bounce back. That's what the characters are worried for Ippos about. But the series shows how one loss could lead to you giving up altogether, but it also shows how one loss could motivate you to do better. Whenever you fall, you could decide to fall more, or you could be like Ippos and rise. Ippos decides to rest up and recover both physically and emotionally, forcing him to focus on himself more. This puts Ippos in a self-reflection. What are the weaknesses he has to overcome? Why did he lose? And how can he bounce back from this and grow stronger than before? Ippos builds from not only his mistakes, but his opponents. Match after match, he grows from them, turning the tides of the battle into his favor. And he does that so well from Date. He lacked the technique and the balanced build. He could overpower someone with his raw punching power and insane gazelle punch. But he didn't have the experience, mentality, or champion's fist. So as to say, his fist didn't have weight. It's not that his punches were weak, but it was just that he wasn't on keen as winning as Date. People learned from this and finally put reasoning into his fist and got the champion's fist. In my opinion, this tells you how you should have a strong reasoning to win, and that will push you to do better than before. If you have the time, I really recommend reading or watching the series, whichever way you like. Not only is Ippos full of action, it's also very funny and have really endearing characters. The Date fight really helped set up for one of the best fights in the series. No, one of the best fights in media. I am talking about Ippos versus Hendo 2, of course.